Our last choir to perform tonight are the biggest in terms of number, and they hail from Wales, but I'm not allowed to be biased, so I'll just say, pob lwc I chi a llongyfarchiadau am fod yma. It's Ysgol Ystrade from Llanelli.
The children are very fond of this hymn. We sing it in the morning assembly, and this is a special arrangement for this choir for this competition.
We've been to many competitions, but we haven't been to a big one like this. I'm nervous. I'm really excited as well.
And we've come all the way from Llanelli, South Wales, and we're very glad to be up against all these wonderful choirs.
I think Mr Davis is feeling quite nervous. He's been stressed all week.
The soloists will be singing it in English, and then as the choir comes in, we're singing it in Welsh, because it's important to us that we do bring our Welsh background into it as well.
We don't know any of the other choirs. We've never heard them, so we're not really sure what we're up against, but we certainly will do our best.
Ysgol Ystrade, ladies and gentlemen. David.
I just want to say congratulations to all of you. Firstly, soloist, you sang in your own voice. You sang using your own accent. And you came in as an ensemble singing in Welsh, which is a hard language to stay perfectly in tune in because there's practically no vibrato at the ends of the lines. You're only the second choir that we've had up there whose tuning has been absolutely impeccable, where there hasn't been a single tuning issue. And you're the largest choir, and that made it even harder. I commend you. I thought that was a very, very, very strong performance.
Susie?
The quality of your sound was something between molten gold and melted warm milk chocolate. It just had that wonderful feel and colour and texture. I have a translation in front of me, but I didn't need the translation because it was very obvious what you were singing about.
Thanks for that, Susie. I spent hours on that translation. Russell, did you enjoy the choir?
I did. I think Susie and David have just about said everything that there is of a technical aspect. When the girls started singing in unison, it was the best unison singing so far today. It was absolutely beautiful. You almost sounded like one.
Thank you, judges, and a big thank you to Ysgol Ystledi.
It went really good. I don't think Sarah could have wished for better, to be honest.
I hope we have a chance because that's all we did was our best, and I hope our best is good enough.
I'm very, very, very proud of them. I couldn't ask for more.
So our judges have now left to decide which 3 choirs will be going through to next week's final. Given the quality of the performances we've seen today, that isn't going to be an easy task. I'm sure you'll have your favourites, but if you haven't made up your mind just yet, here's a look back at our 6 senior choirs.
I thought this was one of the finest interpretations of all 6. Yep. And the men were so robust in their singing.
My only criticism was at the very top end, the sopranos were a little bit harsh.
I thought that it was a slightly nervous and tentative start, but I thought as they started to get through the song, it really opened up and became quite beautiful.
I like the way that the director allows them to really use their voices in a natural way, in an open way.
If I died before I left the platform for any reason, could they sing at my funeral?
There is a slight nasal quality which, to my taste, needed rounding and relaxing a little.
These are one of my favourites, without question.
So we put them on the probables list?
Probably. It was fantastic singing, there's no question about that.
This is a choir that has immense potential both in the men's voices and the women's voices.
They are fantastic. They could be great. There were some bass notes in there that I just think shook the foundations of the building.
The whole sound was very round and very warm and very thick and rich.
The conductor had a vision in her mind, and she has a technical wherewithal to communicate that vision. If we're looking at all these things we're asked to judge, they were very high.
I wasn't...
You weren't that smitten?
No.
Here we go, our judges are back and our choirs await nervously for their decisions. Whatever they are, I'm sure you'll agree, ladies and gentlemen, that our choirs have done themselves proud. Now, judges, what have you made of the standard of the senior choirs this year? David?
The standard has been incredible. I think this has been the highest standard we've had, and this was the most difficult competition that I personally have ever judged. It came down to the finest of fine margins because what we heard was so good.
How about you, Susie?
It makes me realise that the real jewel in the crown of the United Kingdom is our choral tradition. And I'm so proud that these choirs have continued year on year to get more and more brilliant and impressive.
Russell, what do you say to the 3 choirs that don't make it this year?
Don't be too upset, there's always next year. Those that have made it through by the finest of parameters. You were all absolutely fantastic.
Right, I'm going to ask each of our 3 judges to reveal one choir who will be going through to the final next week. Russell, can you reveal the first senior choir going through to the final?
The first senior choir going through to the Songs of Praise School Choir of the Year is... St George's...
Susie, can you please tell us the second choir going through to the final?
The second choir going through to the senior final is Izgol Estrada.
Okay, David, can you please reveal the name of the last choir going through to that final?
The last senior choir going through to the final is Godolphin.
Please put your hands together for our valiant choirs who haven't made it through to the final, ladies and gentlemen. They've been brilliant. And if you'd like some top tips to improve your singing from our celebrity judges, please visit our website, bbc.co.uk/Songs of Praise. Our senior finalists will be back next week when one of them will be taking home the famous trophy and the title, 2012 Songs of Praise Senior School Choir of the Year. It's going to be tense, it's going to be exciting. You'd be mad to miss it. Goodbye from all of us.
Country Files on the move tonight, taking the steam train through Hampshire, on horseback in the Pennines and kayaking off the Dorset coast. That's on 6:45 here on BBC One.